Hello, and welcome to the May edition of Tint Tips on Filmed. I'm Casey Neely, editor of Window Film Magazine. Today we're going to take a look at some of the top vehicle wrap installation tips from world-renowned installer and trainer Justin Pate. Window Film recently caught up with Justin at an Avery Dennison and Muto training session. Pate began his career installing vehicle wraps in New York. He eventually moved to Amsterdam, where he learned that the American style of speedy installation of wraps was not compatible with the European standard for precision. His unique training style teaches those learning to install films both accuracy and speed. Pate says after completing more than 2,500 installations, he realized there was a basic pattern to his technique, and that could translate to helping others learn to install vehicle graphics. He gave Window Film Magazine some great tips.
Then about probably 15 years ago, Charlie Costanza turned me on to this knife. He's an installer up in Yonkers. Okay, and he handed me this knife and he said, "This is a great knife." I'm like, "Why?" And he says, "Well, it's plastic, so when I push it on the car, it doesn't scratch." And they had a metal version of this, and he's like, "No, plastic is better." And I'm like, "Why?" And he says, "I can literally push my knife against the edge and it doesn't scratch." I'm like, "Oh, that's really smart." Because I mean, when I was using the metal knife before, I'd be cutting on the edge and it would jump out. So there's my fair share of cars that I cut. I readily admit it. Since I've been using this, have I cut a single car? No.
Preparation and cleanliness are also key factors.
Cleanliness for me is huge, okay? Especially when you get into just changing the color of the car, when cleaning is even more important. So before a car comes in, I sweep, okay? If it's super dirty, I mop, okay? I'm not crazy about mopping, but I'd rather, especially in the winter, if you've never handled vinyl before, as soon as you take the backing paper off in the winter, because it's so dry, the material gets this crazy electrostatic charge, and any little fine particles just suck up onto the film. It sucks when you're doing a bumper and you take the bumper off and you got this crazy electrostatic charge and all the dust goes onto the adhesive.
Pate says to make sure that the vehicles are at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit before beginning the installation. And to enhance speed, don't take the entire vehicle apart.
If it comes off in 5 minutes, I take it off. If it doesn't come off in 5 minutes, it stays on, okay? And I don't like to be super black and white in life, but for that one, for me, especially with full print, it doesn't have to be full coverage. I'm not changing the color of the car. I'm not trying to make this perfection thing. For full print, you're making a moving billboard. You want it clean and tight and good, okay? So therefore, if it's going to spend a lot of time taking this hardware off and take me like an hour to take off these door handles each, it's not worth your time. It's better to work around it.
And now a word from our sponsors. Welcome back. Pate says any wrinkles when installing the film are a cause for concern. Installers should look for smooth surfaces.
For me, the material talks to you, okay? If the material has wrinkles, that's the way of it saying, this is a yellow or red light. If you go through this intersection, you're gonna get in trouble, okay? Because right now, if I start to squeegee now, it's gonna be totally not straight and centered, and I'm gonna get tons of bubbles and wrinkles, okay? So what you want to create is what I call glass, okay? And how do you create glass is this, pick the material up, and because the permanent hinge is holding the panel, I can pull nice and firm, okay? And I'm pulling in the right direction, I'm pulling firm, okay? I can pull firm, but I can pull this way, but it doesn't mean it's good, okay? So you guys have to learn how to pull the material so you get glass. I can come here and notice that I grab on this side, and I pull with glass, and I tack it there. Notice how I got the wrinkles and they're going this way. If I just pull the wrinkles down, I have glass. Now I got some wrinkles here, so I'm going to pick this up again and pull with glass. Now I have glass, I can go. Okay, so a phrase that I used to use for years was, wrinkles mean no, glass means go.
Pate also says overlapping squeegee sweeps at a 45-degree angle helps to create that smooth, even look quickly.
Notice how I squeegee in a straight line, all the way up, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. I'm not going to do this. And just kind of paint it on, okay? A, this is super inefficient, and B, it doesn't give the air time to escape, so I get bubbles, and it just makes the panel go everywhere. You want to just squeegee like the printer prints. Up, down, okay?
Finally, Pate says his installations really picked up, cutting his work time in half when he started to see in triangles.
Let the material show you where the problem is. Okay, if I look at the material now, there's no tension here. But as I get closer to the corner, look at what the material is doing. That tells me that this is where the most problems are. If I work from here away, I'm going to shift the wrinkles to where there's no wrinkles. Okay, so that's what I call using a triangle, the shape of a triangle. And what I mean by that is this. I draw this line here, and this is where my tension is. Okay, so starting as far away from the corner as possible, okay, and by making a relief cut, I pick everything up so that it's not grabbing anything, so it can shift where I want it to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take my squeegee, I'm going to pull and squeegee, pull and squeegee, and so I'm squeegeeing at a 45-degree angle. Do you see that? And so I'm slicing the material down. I pull, I slice. I pull, I slice. First leg, I'm pulling this way. So this is the point of the triangle. And I'm slicing it this way. Okay? And by shifting it away from the center, I just pick it up, slice it, pick. But if I don't pick it and create glass with my free hand, it doesn't do anything. I gotta pull firm and then squeegee. And if I do that, the chance of me overstretching the film is 0. Okay? But look how easily I work that down just by the shape of a triangle.
That's all for this edition of Tint Tips on Filmed. Stay tuned to our June video where we take a look at the current state of the graphics market. And for more vehicle wrap installation tips, look to our May-June issue of Window Film magazine. Thanks for joining us.